Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here, and it is Friday. Also, it is kind of like the Food Network today. I've got flapjacks, I've got strawberries, and I've got clam chowder. Yeah. So today, let's get that last one out of the way. Today is clam chowder day. So do you like red clam chowder or white clam chowder? Is there any other kind than those two? Manhattan is red and white clam chowder is New England. If you've got another kind of clam chowder, leave it in the comments below. Yes, I want to hear about it. I have to make some of that, or just go buy it. That'd probably be easier because I just want a little bit. I don't want like a whole pot of clam chowder. I just want a little cup with your meal. That's perfect. All right, flapjacks. We'll move to the breakfast side of things right now. That's with flapjacks. That is our sew along. On Fridays is when we check in on this. This is our second week, so you should have had everything cut. Here's the pattern. It's a free pattern, has multiple sizes, and you should have cut all of your things. There is what I haven't sewn up yet into the next part. But before we get into sewing everything, you do have to get everything in order for your flapjack. So I did a little video while I was doing that. After this first step of putting the ends on all of them, and then here's the ones with no ends, I had a couple extra, so I'm not sure what that's about. So what I'm going to do is follow the pattern, and I'm now going to take these stacks. You know, this has got a lot of, different shades of gray in here. There are the darker ones and the medium ones and the lighter ones. So I might sort those into like a darker pile and then a medium pile. So there will be 3 for each unit, then plus 1 of these without the end unit on it. And I want to vary the colors. So what I'll do is I'll do stacks. So I'll take like, 1, 2, 3. So these 3 would be one, whoops, toppled them all over. So if I was going to do it like this would be 1 block. And then maybe on the end would be this after they're sewn together. It'll look like that. But I did get a bunch of units up here, and I wanted to show them to you and talk a little bit about color placement. But first is the sort of, a quilter's exhilaration, I think. Like what we love about quilting is sewing. A lot of us just sitting down and pushing fabric under that machine. Well, when you're making these, you get to have that in spades. So I am going to show you sewing some of this up. It is production time. I have the whole pile of flapjacks that need the background piece, which I'm doing my harmony in black. So that is the cornerstone. So I have, look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? So you can just kind of zoom through here with chain piecing on my Solaris. Makes it so nice. One right after the other. But I do like to stop and go ahead and press a bunch, because then I just sort of have that break where you sit, you do some, then you go and press. So probably out of this stack I might divide it up into like maybe 6 different sections so that I get them pressed. All right, back at it. Being able to just sit and push the fabric through like that is so nice, particularly if you're like listening to a book or watching a movie while you're sewing. Hopefully you've already seen the movie so that you don't have to look up too much. But that whole rhythm, it's sort of like even like how you do handwork. It's just sort of a mindless rhythm that is really, really nice. And even getting up and pressing in between, all of that is such a nice feeling. This quilt does all of that for you. It is just so cool. Okay, we need to get it laid out and get all these units, finished up and laid out. That's what our task is for this week. So what I have, if you have a design wall, pin your pattern on the design wall. That's what I do. Rather than trying to lay it down somewhere or trying to look at it somewhere else, I just pin it right up on the design wall. I'll actually move it down there so it's out of the way. This will actually, I'll shove it up some on the board because I need to have more space. I'll put this on the floor, and then that way I have more space. So basically the units I have right now are these. I have the unit of 3, and I did this first group where I put yellow in the middle. Now what I'm doing is a second group of them with yellow on the bottom. That way it mixes it up. Plus I have yellow for some of the verticals, So like here's a yellow vertical, here's a yellow vertical. That way, those you can see are the pops of color that are sort of popping around the quilt, even at this pace that we're at. Now, a couple of these ones I did here were actually the white with the fern in it, and this one doesn't read so much yellow, it reads more white. So I could do a few more with the yellow in the middle. So there are 32 of these units, and I want to have them so they're mixed up a bit. That way it looks more random. I don't want to get a pattern going, because if for some reason I did this, if I went here and then, let's say, I don't have a good one to show you, but I'm just going to put that over top of there so that you get the idea. Let me just put this one over top of here. Okay, so if I do this, now what happens is you end up, I got to do one more to show you. If you were to do all the yellows in the middle for all of them, what do you see? You see yellow horizontal lines, which is not a bad thing. It's just what you see. If you like that, like if I liked that a lot, I would have done 32 yellows and put the yellow in the middle for every one. Then as it goes across, they will all be exactly the same. Now I also want to watch that I don't get two next to each other. That's why I put them up on the design wall. So right here I have two fabrics that are identical. You can actually see it, I'm sure, from there. Let me just scroll you in a little bit. And you know, that I don't want, because it creates another unit. It creates an illusion of this bigger rectangle that isn't what I want. So I would need to switch those, and that's why I have them up on the wall, so that I can go through and be sure that there aren't any places like that. Now looking at this, because I haven't really sewn the other ones up yet, I'm thinking, you know, it is kind of neat to see that, let me just switch these two because it's bothering me. It's bothering me those two are there. I need to switch them while I'm talking to you. I can't even go any further. Okay, there, that's better. So it is kind of neat to see that yellow across, because I was thinking, now, what if I did the yellow and the white? So that, you know, there's sort of yellow and white are always across, and there'll be a few verticals of them, but then the gray will be the other places, the, you know, above and below them. It does give it gives a little bit more order visually to what you're looking at than if it was totally random, which is what I was originally going to do. But now I'm like thinking, I kind of like the way the yellow does that. Now, unless I was auditioning like this and testing it before I sewed them all up, because you can see here, they're on the board ready to go, but I haven't sewn any more of them. So if I did mostly now, so I have a few of those with the white fern that has some yellow in it. But if I did all the other ones as yellow in the middle, I think that might be the way to go. I think I might like that little bit of structure to this, because a lot of these gray fabrics are similar. So they're a little blendy. You know, they're not, you know, super high contrast. So I think I might switch gears, which is kind of interesting to think of. Just as I'm seeing it now, because that isn't what my original thought was. I didn't think I would like to see that horizontal, but in this quilt, I think I do. Okay, so that's a plan. I got a new plan. So I have to switch around and take a look at things and put the rest of them with the yellow in the middle. And if for some reason I want to change them, I will unpick the white ones and just, you know, put yellow in there. That won't take very long. It feels good to have a plan. For me, it feels good to have a plan. I would rather have things a little bit organized, do a little bit of a section like this, put it up, take a look at it, take some pictures, think about it, and then proceed forward, even if it means changing a little bit about what I'm going to do like I am now. That makes it happier than me just sort of pulling things and making them super random. I really like when there's a little bit more order to the idea of it. It may not look like order, but there actually is now that you've heard it. Maybe you don't agree with me, I don't know. Okay, what else is going on? The string bean. Our March block a day. Now we've done this, I started this in March of 2020 for the for the pandemic. Let's kick off the pandemic. I'm not sure I did it in March that year. I think we did block a day. It may have been one of the other months. But I decided then in 2021 we would do a block a day in March. And now we are in 2021 did a block a day. So here we are, third year in a row. There we go. That's the way to say it. Is the string bean. Now the pattern that I showed you the other day was my original single block that I did in 2015. So that was, quite 7 years ago. 7 years ago we did a project, and it was based off of my fabric line. It was a challenge. It was a different thing. This is a block a day. You don't need to use my fabric. If you do, that's awesome, but there's no requirement, there's no challenge. It's just doing a block a day. So I have the pattern updated. There is, a diagram for those of you who have never done a log cabin, a log cabin quilt. I have it laid out how you're going to do that. I have just the worksheet, which has the numbers like you already saw. Then I added some options for the layouts. If you're hearing the fire trucks go by, I am about 4 houses away from the fire station. So then they're going right past my window here on the back road. So there we go. It's a rectangle. It's a 5x6 or a 6x6 setting. You will get 2 slightly different sizes for the 30, but the same number of blocks, which means you could do 1 a day and you have 1 bonus day if you're not making blocks. Then I had an option on here for doing one with 25 blocks and just setting them side by side, or 25 blocks and you put a border on it. So the one that I've been showing you has a border that has even less blocks, I think, because I did a super wide border. Then I also put on a little bonus layout, but here it is with doing a little bitty inner border and then piano keys, because if you already have the strips, you might as well use them to make piano keys. So if you have extra strips. And that string being block now, you can download at my website today. The link is in here under the description box, or if you're already getting my emails, you will get an email today and you'll be able to download it. And I will put it on my I Love to Make Quilts, my project website, my Sew Along website. So there is a page now for the string bean, and this is the pattern that's on there. Okay, I forgot, string beans, there we go. It is definitely the Food Network day. Definitely. Okay, strawberry bread, and then I have one other thing, maybe 2. So the strawberry bread, I talked about that on Wednesday as one of the options of a dessert bread. And in my mind, I knew that I had a recipe that I pulled from the paper. And I've been keeping them in the cute little recipe box that I got at the Fat Quarter Shop. So I'll link you to that. I put all of my recipes in here that are sort of like special ones, either family ones or things I got that I've tried and know I would do again. That's the kind of thing. But in my brain, I thought I pulled this from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch when I lived in St. Louis, which would have been a really long time ago. But as it turns out, this is talking about Harrisburg and Lewistown and Mount Holly Springs, which is in, ding, 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 Pennsylvania. So either my mother-in-law pulled this for me or I pulled it for myself when I lived in Pennsylvania. So there's 2 recipes on here, and I will put this in my Kitchen Adventures group. So there'll be a link at my website today, or you can just go over at Facebook to my Kitchen Adventures, and I will put a picture of it in there so that you can take a look, see if you want to make strawberry walnut bread or regular strawberry bread, which also has walnuts in it. So they're just 2 different packages, or 2 different ones. One has bananas in it, so that's the difference, and the other has orange peel, or bananas and orange peel rather, and the other one doesn't. Ah, so exciting. Okay, my other thing I have here, and then one more tiny thing, is I've been working on these shoe fly blocks. These were all the cutaways from my Hustle Bustle quilt that was from the Layer Cake book, the Hustle Bustle fabric from the Layer Cake book. Look at this stack. Isn't that so nice? Get a whole big stack like that. I only have a few left. So in the little tin, This was a little See's candy tin that one of our friends sent me. I've got little stacks of 4, and I think I only have to make like 8 more blocks. And I need to put those on high priority, make those 8 blocks, and then this is done for now. For now, I'll put it in the bag, and then I will pull it out to work on it a little bit later. But I don't want it hanging on for March. I want it to be gone and finished and just put over there. Okay, the last thing is for my coffee sign quilt, for the banner with the coffee signs. Do I cut the polka dots, or do I use this stripe that I already have? So this was one of the bindings that I had made a while back. Now you can't even see how pretty it is because it's inside out. Okay, come on, let's be functional. There we go. So there it is. There's the stripe. The deal is that this aqua isn't really the same aqua as the dots. This dot fabric is on the border of the coffee chalk pattern. So what do you think? Is it going to be horrible against it? See, that stripe will be against this. I'm on the fence. I'm like, I don't know. It's like, how many quilts do we make a year? How many quilts do I make a year? I don't know, 70. Will it matter from a small distance if that aqua is slightly lighter aqua than the other? Probably not. And the binding's done, and I think there's enough. I have to check that. So I could just use it up. And it's cute. Stripe binding is really cute. So I am leaning that way. But when I got it out and put it against the dots, I was like, it doesn't really go that well. Okay, so there you go. There you go, my quilt friends. I need to get your opinion on that. So you're going to do today. Let's hear, what are you going to do? Yes, you're going to work on flapjacks. Flapjacks, for those of you who may not know, is a food item. It is pancakes, same as pancakes. I think a few people, they've not heard that term before. So there you go. You're going to get that done. I am going to reevaluate mine so that the yellows are all going horizontal. I am just loving that concept now, and I'm surprised because I didn't think I would. So that is really a cool thing. I will probably show you this again in progress. Well, I know I will, before next Friday. But by next Friday, all of these will be sewn up and possibly the top sewn. That's my goal, is to work towards that. Probably, you know, the top may not be sewn, but I'm going to work towards that because, you know, other projects. And be sure you go over, if you want the strawberry recipe, I will put a picture of it in the Kitchen Adventures. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here at the Food Network. No, Pat Sloan's Zone. I will see you online. I love you. Mwah.